warm welcome to Allie Brock from Box UK. Allie, you are a lead business analyst for Box UK, and most recently you act as product owner for some really high profile projects, including the delivery of an e-commerce platform and underlying ecosystem for global technology business OKdo. Thank you so much for giving us your time this afternoon. Please take it away and share your screen.
Okay, well, thanks very much. I'm glad that you've all joined. I'm going to be talking very briefly about international e-commerce with WordPress and WooCommerce and some of the hidden considerations. So if I start off with a bit of background. So in 2018, Box UK were asked to develop an enterprise e-commerce platform to support the launch of a new technology business within 8 months, which was no mean feat. So welcome to OKdo. OKdo is an international platform. They're also a Raspberry Pi manufacturer. They specialize in selling in the single board computer market. So we have a platform which presents users with a seamless purchase journey in 7 countries with 6 languages and 4 currencies. And this is just a kind of a brief look of what it looks like under the hood. So in the middle there, you can see we've got a WordPress multi-site install with a WooCommerce plugin for each individual site. That's supported by an enterprise ERP platform. So right from the time of an order is placed right through to delivery, the ecosystem supports this end to end. Okay, so let's roll back a little bit. Before you think about building a platform and selling internationally, let's have a little think about what it is you're intending to sell. So before you start, you need to look at whether you are legally able to sell products in the regions or countries you're planning to roll out to. May not be a problem if you're selling clothing, when you're selling electronic components. We have to make sure that all our sales adhere to any country-specific regulations, avoiding any trade rule violations. So if you don't adhere to those plans, there are big hefty fines in place. So at OKdo, all of the orders flow from WooCommerce through to the ERP, and every order is checked to make sure that it can be legally fulfilled. So once you've kind of thought about that, yes, you can trade online. The second big thing is, how are people going to find my products? Now, I'm pretty sure everyone here knows about SEO. But a couple of things that we had to do to get that technical SEO right, because when people search for products these days, they don't generally go to your site, then search, they'll search Google, and it's all about getting your products found from search engines. So it's really important that that SEO and product feeds are right. You can have the most beautiful site ever, but if it's not showing in search results, people are just going to go and find that product somewhere else. For international sites, getting the technical SEO in place is key. For OKdo, we've used a combination of multilingual press and Yoast to help optimize that technical SEO. So now when people search for products, not only do they arrive in the search results, but then when people click through on them, they go to the correct site for their region. We also looked at region-specific product feeds so that we can drive traffic via PPC and affiliate. And the work on the product feeds and the SEO optimization led to a 3 times increase in traffic to the OKdo sites. Okay, so this sentence is pretty much my focus now. Customers are more likely to convert if products are shown in their language with their preferred currency and their payment methods. There's a lot of research behind this, so e-commerce studies that show this is the case. So if we look at language first, talking about the language you're displaying your, your products in, on OKdo, most of the products are human translated at source. Then the product data itself is imported from the ERP to the relevant language site. With the multi-site platform, that means we've got control over which products go to which sites and the language that they are sent over in as well. I am, however, also involved in another project, which is a single WordPress WooCommerce platform, and that's translating using Translate Press. So there's a couple of things you can look at in terms of translating. Are you going to use human translations, or are you looking at machine translations? And then the second one, currency. Again, the customer's more likely to convert if products are shown in their preferred currency. So if you're transacting in different currencies, multi-site installation made this really easy for us to set up the different currencies for each site. But if you have a single site install, you can still trade in multiple currencies using plugins available for that. If you are going to trade in a single currency internationally and you choose to show currency conversions, it's really important for the customers that it's clear those prices are indicative. So make sure on your product pages you display that very, very clearly, that it may not be the actual price that they're going to be charged. So any currency conversions, make sure that's clear to the customer. And payment methods, so customers are more likely to convert if they can use a familiar payment method. So OKdo uses Stripe and PayPal. We found for most of the regions that we're trading in, they were the two most common, but they're not the only payment methods. And so you should always do your research onto the most common payment method for the regions that you're selling in. For example, in the Netherlands, payments generally the most popular is Ideal. In Japan, it's still very common to have cash on delivery as a payment option. So they do their final transaction in local convenience stores. So research the most common payment methods to help maximize your conversions for each country or region you're trading in. And one thing I will say, WooCommerce is really flexible with all the payment methods that it does support. And then tax. So 10-minute talk about sales tax. I probably couldn't get through this if I had a whole day. Before I was involved with the OKdo project, I had no idea of the complexities behind US sales tax. I still don't really have much of an idea of the complexities behind US sales tax. It seems really complicated. WooCommerce allows you to set up tax rates natively, but for the US site, we actually chose to use an AvaTax plugin. So that means for every customer, they see the correct tax at point of sale. It also takes away any headaches from maintaining those rates from the WooCommerce shop manager. So again, a really, really good plugin to use if you're trading internationally. It's worthwhile also talking really briefly about customs charges. So if you're shipping worldwide, make sure you understand the custom charges for each country. And if you're going to be passing those costs on to your customers, I know some e-commerce platforms or some shops, they absorb those costs themselves. Some do pass them on to your customers. If you are passing them on to your customers, again, surface that really early in the journey, so that when a customer is deciding to purchase, they can factor that into their decision. And then delivery. So where are you shipping from? Where are you shipping to? These are really important. How much is it going to cost you, and how much is it going to cost your customers? You make all those shipping options really clear to users when you decide how you're going to ship. So the costs are clear, the time is clear, and also make it easy to update that. So at the moment with the, I said I wasn't going to say unprecedented times, but the situation we're in at the moment, shipping is taking longer in a lot of cases. So make sure when you're building your platform, you can update those shipping times really, really easily. So you can give clear messaging to users if there are going to be delays of any kind. And also transactional emails. So the customer experience doesn't only focus on the site itself. The customer experience is doesn't stop when you get to the confirmation screen, it carries on. So this is the point when someone has parted with money and they need to trust that their products are going to arrive and to arrive on time. So don't make your transactional emails an afterthought. They're simple to set up in WooCommerce, and if you install things like MailChimp for WooCommerce, it gives you additional flexibility to be able to customize those. There are also a bunch of other transactional emails that you can do with MailChimp for WooCommerce. You can give your customers the clear, relevant information about their order, again in their preferred language. If you want customers to return, that delivery experience is equally, if not more importantly, important than the on-site experience. So yeah, customers are more likely to convert if products are shown in their language with their preferred currency and payment methods. Now, everything I've talked about is just really tiny, brief overview of some hidden considerations. Again, I could probably talk for days on this, but 10 minutes is all I've got. So any questions?
Ali, thank you so much. As you say, covering all that in 10 minutes is a real kind of whistle-stop tour of so many different topics. So thank you so much. I've got a couple of questions that have come into me direct. And one really interesting one was, what does the process look like to expand to new countries in, in that kind of OKdo model? So if you want to add new regions, new countries,
Great question.
how does that work?
We can effectively spin up a new site. I think when I was prepping the talk, talking to the guys back at the team, it's probably a couple of hours to spin up a new site. There's a bunch of work that would need to be done behind the scenes about getting those products in as well. But the way that the multi-site is set up, it's really easy to spin up new sites. So once again, you've done all your research with your payment methods, you know that you can trade legally. You could get a site up, 90 minutes to 2 hours.
That's incredible. That's an incredible speed to market, which I find, I mean, given all the different hidden complexities that you have to understand and learn, like the fact that you can theoretically within 90 minutes spin up a new country is kind of incredible.
I think the way we've got hooked into the ERP as well, so things like the trade compliance, every order, regardless of what country it's coming from, it's all going to be checked. So having that kind of really solid infrastructure in place behind the scenes as well, and then the beauty of WordPress and WooCommerce with that speed to be able to spin up new ones makes it really flexible.
Talking about, I guess, the different countries and different places people are coming from, but also their different interests, like, does OKdo use any kind of personalization to determine that customer behavior and sort of present products to them accordingly?
So it's almost like you line these questions up for me that I wouldn't be able to know the answers. At the moment, no, but bizarrely, the sprint that we're currently in, we're doing a discovery sprint on personalization. So we are looking at, there's really simple ones, WooCommerce shortcodes to show most popular products within a category, down to things like, the recently shown products or frequently bought together blocks. So we've got this discovery sprint going on right now. It finishes on Tuesday, where we're looking at all the options for personalization so we can start to use that to show more relevant products to customers.
Yeah, I think that's again, with the fact that you're working in kind of global e-commerce and you're already trying to identify where people are coming from, being able to identify what they're interested in is also a really interesting consideration when it comes to international e-commerce.
And I think,
sorry, go ahead, Ali.
I was going to say, one of the other things that wasn't in the talk, that with everything we do, everything we develop, we've got a host of measures in place. So Tag Manager, we use Google Tag Manager all over it, so we can see how far people are scrolling down a product page. So should we move relevant information up, what people are looking at, where they're abandoning, all of the kind of standard e-commerce stuff. But we do a lot around the user interaction as well, in terms of Tag Manager, so we can really see where people are going on the site.
Obviously, again, trying to avoid the term unprecedented times, but obviously at the moment, many e-commerce stores are seeing kind of these unprecedented spikes in traffic with everyone at home, shopping online. I certainly know I crashed the OKdo site several times trying to get my milk delivered to my front door because I didn't want to go outside. Do you have any tips for kind of handling and preparing spikes in traffic and orders as well?
We did actually see a spike on OKdo at the start of the lockdown because of the products that are sold on there. Quite a lot of them are sort of maker kits, so you can get a Raspberry Pi in a kit and you can go make something. And we noticed that people were starting to search for like kits for kids. So we kind of responded to that by creating a new landing page just for these kits for kids. In terms of spikes, we're on VIP, so I think I'm right in saying it auto scales. And spikes in terms of orders, we've definitely seen more, but the system, again, that infrastructure has meant it's easy to handle those spikes in orders.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ali, for your presentation and for answering those questions which range from the obvious to the more complex. So thank you so much.